And welcome back to Savinellis Briar. I'm Gareth. Day, I think, like 22 of the Great Codger Challenge. If I counted up right. This time it's the Boone Cob's turn. Again. With my Shelby foot mixture, obviously. Out in the back garden. Out in the back garden, listening to the birds in the trees and somebody running a drill somewhere next door. I watched Paladin Piper's video from a few days ago about who's your audience, referring to Cane Rod Piper's video. I just watched that, and it kind of started me thinking a little bit. Thinking how I don't really know. Well, that who's your audience question for me brought up some different thoughts and reflections. Because this pipe channel is not my first foray into YouTube content creation. I have a outdoor channel called Mountain Coffee Outdoors, which I started about 5 years ago. And I used to go out and do a lot of camping videos and stuff like that. And I haven't really, I still have some good hiking video from a trip I took in 2020 up at Colorado that I still haven't sat down and got edited up into a video. I think that'll make a cool video when I finally get it done, but I just kind of lost the motivation to keep chugging out videos for that channel. Mostly because I found myself doing the same things over and over again, going camping in the same places, taking video of me lighting fires, that sort of thing. And I realized that, nobody wants to see me do that stuff over and over again. I didn't want to keep videoing myself doing that stuff over and over again. When I go out camping and stuff, I just rather just get out and, and enjoy it and not worry about how much B-roll I'm shooting for my videos. Whether I get, I need to cut firewood. Am I going to video myself for cutting some of that firewood? Just stuff like that. I still think I could, if I had the motivation, I could put out a good deal of gear review videos, because I have a lot of gear. And I definitely have some thoughts of that gear, and I've used a lot of different gear over the years, so I feel like I have something to say in that regard about stuff. But it's one of those things, it's just making those videos is kind of boring. So anyway, when I first started making those outdoor YouTube videos, I'm not really sure exactly who I imagined my audience was that I was talking to. I guess, just people a lot like me that were getting out and doing stuff. And one of the differences with that channel was I was hoping that I would find an audience to some extent. And even though I had kind of a small audience, I kind of didn't get that audience ever, in a sense. Just never really took off. Didn't seem like a lot of people really watched my videos. You know, whatever. Maybe they weren't worth anything. But there was this thing I did where, and I'll see if I can't link the little shortcut thingy over up in the corner wherever. But the TV show Alone, where it's a survival challenge show where you get to pick 10 items, and then you have your clothing and stuff, and they take you out and dump you somewhere, and whoever stays out the longest wins a prize. I decided to kind of do my own version of that, mostly because I would love to go on alone, or try to go on alone, but my job won't let me take off for, a number of months at a time. I wouldn't have a job to come back to then. So trying to be on that show is not really an option for me. But anyway, I went out to Colorado, up at a lake at like 10,000 something feet, with like a 10 item sort of deal and all that. And I made videos of it, and that was kind of I had big hopes for that little video project I did, and I did it. I came home and I edited the videos, and it turned out to be a series of I'm not sure how many videos. And although there were a small handful of people that did follow those videos, basically it never really found an audience beyond that. So I had this kind of passion project I was working on, and it fell pretty flat. But one thing I was been kind of blown away by is I just decided to start a pipe channel because I've kind of fallen in love with the YTPC, to be honest, and and I knew how to make videos and that sort of thing, so I just kind of figured, why not? And not only that, I mean, this might sound kind of silly, but I was watching a lot of Match's old videos where he's just sitting there smoking a pipe, relaying some story. And I have a lot of stories. I mean, I'm not sure anybody cares to hear any of them, but I saw him doing that. I'm like this is something that I actually feel like doing, I guess. It's just such a natural thing, and I oftentimes found myself in those camping videos I would do. I would sit there and start talking about stuff, and the video would wind up being like an hour long or something. Not all from talking, but a significant portion from talking, and that's like what I naturally would do on video anyway. So I kind of feel like, in a way, like these type of videos, it's just kind of like the natural thing that I like creating. It just comes out without any real effort whatsoever. And when I did start this channel, I was rather amazed at how fast subscribers started subscribing to my channel. I have, I don't know, like maybe 200 subscribers now. Well, it took me like a year or two at least with my outdoors channel to get that many. I've gotten all, I've only had this pipe channel for, I don't know, a few months. 3 or 4 months at the most. But that got me kind of, that whole thing about, watching Cane Rodded Piper's video and talking about matches and everything, kind of had me think of an interesting little story. So I didn't find the YTPC until, I don't know, like last September. And obviously by that time Matches was had passed on. So I only ever knew him through, watching old videos of his. And so I really got into watching a lot of his videos like late last fall or whatever. And then I was going down to do like a kind of like a 3-day little backpacking trip, like the weekend before Thanksgiving. And it was down in another part of the state, down kind of to the southeast of Wichita, Kansas. So there's a brick and mortar. It's primarily a tobacco cigar shop, but they have pipes and pipe tobaccos there. So as I was driving down there that whatever Wednesday evening, I stopped at that brick and mortar store, and they had some Savinellis pipes there. I think they're actually kind of on sale, I think, because Thanksgiving was coming up in the shopping season and all that. Well, I wound up getting like a kind of a bent pot. I'm not sure what model number, whatever, Savinelli, but they had the 673 Roma Lucite. I think that's the right number. And the matches Friday Savinelli pipe. And for some weird reason, I didn't pull the trigger right then and there on buying that pipe. I got the bent pot pipe, which I love. But the whole time I'm on this trip for over the next like 3 or whatever days, I'm thinking like, hey, I should get that pipe. So on the way back home, I stopped at that store again, and then I got that 673. So that was like the weekend before Thanksgiving. I got my Friday Savinelli pipe. And yeah, Matches was by far the primary reason I bought that pipe. And I love that pipe. But then, only like 2 or 3 weeks later, I'm watching one of Match's videos, and he kind of shouted out a couple channels and recommended them. One of which was Cane Rod Piper's channel, and the other one I looked up, and I'm not sure if that presenter even had a channel anymore, but I watched some of Cane Rod Piper's stuff, and I think that very same day, I think it was a Friday, I wound up watching his live stream that evening. And it was the evening before he was going to be putting on an auction to raise some money for a fellow YTPCer who was falling on hard times and needed some help financially. So, and he went through the stuff that people had donated to be auctioned off, and one of the things was a Matches memorial pipe, which I knew it existed. I kind of seen mention of him somewhere, so I looked him up and saw that that there had been this limited run and all that, but that had been like at least a couple of years before or something. So I figured, well, I'll never get my hands on one of those, and I already had my Friday Savinelli anyway, which I was happy with, but I didn't have one of these Matches ones. Well, sure enough, on this auction, one of those memorial pipes was going to be on the auction. Well, as it turns out, that particular weekend I had to work, so I knew I wouldn't be able to likely spend time sitting at the auction. I might get a peek in here and there between doing stuff at work, but I sent an email to Mike Cane Rod Piper that night saying, like, I know this is not the normal auction way of things, but I don't know if it would be a problem if I kind of put a preliminary or put a bid on that Matches memorial pipe, and if I get outbid, I get outbid. And it was a pretty high bid, but I felt that, I was, donating money to help somebody in need, so I felt okay with it in that regard. So he said, "Yeah, that's fine." So I put my bid in on it, on that pipe, and nobody outbid me. My bid was high enough. I'm not sure that anybody really wanted to outbid me, but so within like 2 days or something of having hearing matches, recommend Cane Rod's channel, and then go into Cane Rod's channel, and then participate in that auction, I got my hands on my very own matches memorial Friday Savinelli, which was pretty cool. And that pipe is unsmoked and in the box and all that. And honestly, I'm not really sure if I want to smoke it or not. I don't know why. I just kind of like, it's nice. It's in its box and it has Match's picture in it and all that. And I already have my own Friday Savinelli, so that's why. If I didn't, I think I probably would be smoking it, but I don't know. It's just kind of a special thing to have. But anyway, I think this video has probably gone on long enough, especially for one of my little Codger challenge check-ins. So I'll draw this to a close and get it uploaded here, and hope everybody has a good weekend and Mother's Day weekend. So happy Mother's Day to any mothers that may be watching. But when I checked the analytics on my channel, it looks like everybody that watches this are guys. So I know there may be a few women out there here and there. But I'm Gareth with Flint Hills Briar. I'll see you next time.